Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you enjoy the vid.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
That's going to be so
edit
long.
that shit out.
This is going to be so long. Welcome back for Season 1, Episode 5 of the Falcon WinterSoldier review. So we start out with some thoughts on tonight's episode. But a good place to start is just to recap, where we left off last week, because it sort of put us on a cliffhanger and with, the bad Cap or John Walker, however you want to call him, ending with the bloody shield. And as we, move into this episode, we get to see, to watch that pick up. And what's your thoughts about, the opening credits and the initial...
Oh, I knew they were going to have to try and take that shield off him right off the bat.
I was really... it makes sense that they did, but I figured that he would at least try to get away or potentially get away, and then they come back to it. They, at least in my mind, they short-lived that. They squashed that story instead of dragging it out, because lots of TV shows would have just drug that out for an extra episode and then let that be part of the whole cliffhanger. And as the whole story progresses, I wish they would have stretched it a little further. And killed some of the other stuff that was in the episode. Yeah. But it is what it is. As far as action goes, it was a good opener. It grabbed you right off the bat, and you thought we were going to pick up where we left off in the good action packed influential part of what's going on in the episode.
Do you think Walker takes either one of them? Obviously he takes Falcon down alone, but do you think he takes WinterSoldier down? They're one-on-one.
It depends on which version of WinterSoldier we get, because we get the really amazing
for WinterSoldier.
Yeah, we get mixed versions of him even in this series, because if he's the White Wolf, he's a little bit more passive. Yeah, he probably takes him in that rage-induced place that he was in, but realistically, no. If he's WinterSoldier and he's under control of his faculties, there's no way.
I wish I would have seen him do better in the fight against Walker. Because you got to remember, Cap and Bucky fought toe-to-toe to an almost stalemate. And if it wasn't for Black Widow interrupting it, that fight could have gone either way. That was like a Tyson Ali fight each other kind of fight was what we saw in Civil War. And now you're saying John Walker, who's got a subdued serum, isn't quite as competent or as battle-hardened or as experienced as Cap.
Soldier, right? Not
or Cap or Bucky. Yeah, Walker. He's not, one, because he's 30. Bucky and Cap were 100. They've been fighting for generations.
Well, sort of pros.
Bucky has, but maybe not Cap. But, Cap is slaying badass interstellar assassins, and then he and Bucky go for a tie almost multiple times in WinterSoldier. Bucky takes on Iron Man.
Well, you could even say that he gets the better of Cap in WinterSoldier 2.
Yeah.
For the most part. In circumstances, stop the fight or shift it back in Cap's, direction. Because, the engine's cutting off or whatever, and he something jars him apart and makes him fall off the scaffolding is sort of what leads Cap to get back in upper hand. But, Cap's distracted with trying to, stop the guns.
It's Bucky.
Well, and it's Bucky too. But
yeah, Cap held back, which made openings. But the initial fight before Cap knew he was Bucky, and Cap's going full out because he didn't know it was Bucky yet. And this is the WinterSoldier. This is an assassin. They were going toe to toe in the street.
That's they have to do that to make you think he's to build him as a threat in your mind. Because if he's equal or less than Cap at that point, then you're never going to enjoy it as a fan.
I agree with you, and that's the whole point, is they make him that way. He is that way. He continued on to be a very competent combatant. Fighting Sky Dogs and whooping ass, and now you got John Walker coming on. I think that fight could have been choreographed a little bit better, and I guess this is the long-winded point of what I'm getting to. It's the old 80s trope. The bad guy's got to be more powerful than the good guy until the good guy gets the winning blow in, and that's just so boring, and it's so
it's not
40 years old.
Because if the hero walks out and knocks him out one punch,
that'd be boring too.
Or just beats the fuck out of him.
It's the other way. The bad guy gets a lot of punches in, and the good guy gets one shot in. That's not good either, and it's not good for the good guy to come in and whoop their ass. You can have knockout, drag out fights.
But let's be fair. We don't know how powerful this serum is
Well,
for a actually trained person, because we see Carly and the rest of the refugees
Fair point.
are almost on the same power level as Bucky, and
They're untrained.
they're untrained. So we get this trained guy, and he's given a
Not
super
only-
soldier and a non-super soldier, but is an Avenger, or Avenger Light at this point, Falcon. They're giving them trouble. So like I can get on board with that. It's because we don't know how powerful this serum is, and so it looks like it's like, okay, well, he's probably a hair stronger than Bucky is as far as like his ability with the serum, and he's a really good fighter. He's gone through actual training and spent a whole career in the military, so he's got that to back him up, and so it's okay that he's a competent fighter in that position.
It's not just that he's a competent fighter. I mean, they've said in Captain America, and they've said in this series, that the serum, draws out everything that's within. It amplifies everything. And, they lead the series off talking about, you were picked for Captain America because your reflexes are off the scale, and they've studied you at MIT or wherever, And so,
Yeah, they did sell that.
yeah, and Steve was, a weakling. Bucky was an average guy before he gets the serums. I mean, they, have training, but they're not physically John Walker and then he gets the serum. So, I mean, he should be technically. I mean, even if it's a lesser serum, it's not the full strength. He's probably still stronger, faster than they are.
Okay, do we see Captain Walker being able to go up against Thanos or Sky Dogs or the two assassins that work for Thanos without getting absolutely raffle stomped?
No.
Okay, so that's my point.
I mean, but we haven't seen
You're not really seeing
Cap.
Cap do that either, though. So to be fair,
Well, I mean, fucking Cap, when he showed up with Falcon, who's always OP. All right, so this is kind of bringing another thing. When have we ever seen Falcon ever depowered in a sense? Not at all. He's always very competent. Bucky is all over the place, like you said. And even in this series, he was a weak ass bitch in the early episodes.
well, you don't see a lot of.
Then we saw the little bit of that Winter Soldier come out last episode, and I was very happy about that. And then he's back to it's too varying. I just think that with better choreography and more mature writing, not mature as in rated R mature, something. I mean, because this is a tired trope from the 80s.
I mean, okay, so
And I expect more from a $30 billion wing of a company.
I get you, but what if? Okay, so I think the thing that they were trying to do, and the thing that like shades the whole fight, is they're not trying to kill Walker. They're not even trying to take Walker out. They'd be happy to just take the shield and leave, and so they're distracted by that. And Walker will happily fight to the death because he's just murdered somebody. And so
He legit tried to kill Falcon, right?
Yeah, he did. And so I think they're just in different places, and because when they're even attacking him, they're attacking him to get the shield. And like, there's that one part of the fight scene where Falcon can go get
Infinity War, trying to rip the shield off.
But like, the shield's in the middle of the floor, and Falcon goes after the shield like it's a gun. It's like, that's not important. Like, this guy is trying to kill you. He's trying to assault you. Like, you would never go focus on the weapon if the weapon's not like a gun. So why go after the shield? The shield's not going to give you extra power or anything. Like, they want to take the shield and run. Is essentially like how the fight scene is like laid out. It's weird.
Well, my idea of him going for the shield is that it's a very Teen 13 adventure book level writing. He's not going for the weapon to disarm Walker. They're going for the symbol of Cap. We've got to wrestle Captain America from him. And that's what made it cheesy. And that's the kind of immature writing that I don't want in this, because it's supposed to be better and higher quality. Now, okay, to your point, John Walker's all roided up. His best friend died. I wanted to see a more competent Bucky, because you got to think, he just stained his best friend's legacy, okay? This is Aragorn turning to charge the guys coming out of Mordor, the fire in his eyes, right? That's the fire you say, Walker brought in his fire. Well, so is Bucky. I mean, look what this man just did to his best friend's legacy. You don't think he's going to come in there Rocky IV style Again, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at what Rocky did in Rocky. All right, everybody, you're going to hear a lot of comparisons to Rocky in everything I talk about. Okay, so this is a Rocky 4 scenario. Okay, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, gets straight up murdered by Drago. Right? Look what Rocky did to that. Okay, Bucky going up against Walker for that shield is this. I want to see the same thing that Rocky Balboa brought into the Drago fight at the end of Rocky 4. This dude just took everything from me, and I'm taking it back from him. And he didn't fight that way. We saw Walker's fight that way.
They don't even come into the room like that, though. They come into the room with, like, you messed up, and you know you messed up, and on the backside of this is you're going to pay the price for it, and we're not going to be the ones to do justice to you. They just sets him on a different, like, plane of morality and like level of capacity to be a superhero in everybody's eyes by just saying we're not going to be judge, jury, and executioner in this moment. Like, you're just not keeping the shield.
Well, there was this moment in Bucky's face right before the fight just kicked off where he's looking at the shield and Bucky gets this kind of strong look on his face. So I was expecting he's going to go at it. And I mean, he did, but I just expected a little less tropey, I guess. You know, maybe I'm getting off the rails a little bit, but
I mean, I agree. They could have made the fight more interesting and more movement and had them bust through walls and did some more like interesting things because they've got two people that are super soldier level. And
let them go toe to toe and trade blows.
And then again, there's also the other side of it. Like Falcon is not super soldier strength level, and he's
he handled the fight better than Bucky did.
Well, because he's got to be the person that you see as the new Cap. That's the whole point of this episode is to set him up to take the mantle as Cap, and I'm okay with that. It's all like as you're watching it, it's not as fun because it's harder to believe that the arm from Wakanda would get a short in it from hitting
no shit
some piece of metal on the wall or whatever happened to it, and then Falcon's left over to kind of handle himself for a few minutes. It's like that seems a little cheesy, but I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to set it up to where Falcon is the most important person in this scenario, and Bucky is a great sidekick for him.
And I don't like it.
It's in some ways it's hard to swallow in the way that they've presented it, because I could for sure have Bucky as the hero and Falcon like earn his place, earn his way to the Cap shield rather than them hand it to him with lazy writing. But yeah. I don't really have an answer for what I expected them to do in that scene, but it's okay.
I can't wait for them to set up all of this and then the new Falcon come in and just save the day next episode.
The new Falcon?
Yeah, the Torres kid.
Oh, he's going to be the new Falcon.
Yeah, he left him the wings and everything. He was like, you keep them.
Yeah.
He's going to fix them up. He knows about the New York ping.
So we for sure
he's going to sweep in.
So we for sure see Sam in the Cap uniform, the nanotechnology Cap uniform.
If it's not nano,
well, it's got to be because he's not super soldier, so he's got to have some augmentation of some sort.
That would solve my biggest problem with Sam altogether. I don't have a problem with him being a high power level, a B level power level, if you give him something. I mean, the dude's just a normal dude with flying wings, and he's like kicking helicopters and going toe to toe with super soldiers, and it just that suspension of belief isn't there. Here's an example. If I saw Black Widow swing around and kick a helicopter out of the sky, we would all think that's kind of stupid. But Falcon just gets a pass, right? Well, he's not even as powerful as Black Widow. She's a much more competent fighter. She's quicker. You'd expect her to accomplish more than him, but he's just like kicking helicopters out of the sky like it's nothing. Just because his wings. Now, if you give him...
He flies through the helicopter and kicks a guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he does all this crazy shit.
But he's not kicking a helicopter out of the sky.
If you give him a damn Wakanda Black Panther nanosuit, I'm all about it. Let him kick all the helicopters. I don't care. But you've got to get rid of that suspension of disbelief, because we wouldn't see... Like I said, Black Widow is an example. Or Hawkeye. We just know they're normal dudes. If you see them doing extraordinary things like, going punch for punch with the Hulk, we'd be thinking that's stupid. We're fine with it in Iron Man when he's in the Hulkbuster suit. Oh, it's the Hulkbuster suit. He can go toe to toe with the Hulk. But you see, what did Scarlett Johansson do when the Hulk was turned Hulk in Avengers? She took off like a maniac. She's like, I can't handle this dude. Falcon would just fly kick him in the head, and then do a sassy quip or something, and everybody's like, okay, this is fine. So that's my only problem with that character. But yeah, give him the nano suit, bump him up to A power level. I don't care. Just you got to clean that up for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back to those movies, you could see if you think about the way they're setting him up now, that he was going to have a bigger role. I don't know if they had that plan, back in Civil War or anything post like his power level or whatever. But it seems like he was more powerful than he should have been back then. But now it'll seem to make sense unless they make him overpowered, because he still has to fight several super soldiers. So we don't know. He may come out with a new suit and just be, the new Captain Marvel. Like, oh, I'm kicking everybody's tail, and nobody can tell me anything. Blowing like spaceships out of the sky with their hair or whatever. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because you're souping him up with new equipment just to explain his current level. But like if they do increase him, he might get a little OP. But even if he is, that's fine, because Anthony Mackie is better than Brie Larson. The Falcon is a better character than Captain Marvel. I'm okay with it. I don't care if I think Anthony Mackie's a great dude. I don't care if he's the new head of the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Explain it to me. That's it.
They've set him up to be a really good character. Like, he's more level-headed. He is like, he's like the best facsimile for Cap that we have in the MCU at this point.
He's Steve Rogers except instead of from Brooklyn, he's from Louisiana. Yeah, I'm cool. And he's just as
humanizing with the family. Like some of the stuff with the family is fine because they humanize him with the family. They show that he's got something to fight for. Because we kind of saw that with Cap, because he had the picture of his long lost love that he was, at least in his mind, was fighting for that thing. And so we get the same, even though we don't have like a female interest for Sam, we've got, his sister and her kids. So we've got something to take care of and something to, have pride for. And so like tie him back to the real world. Cause I think that's important about Cap, is you got to make him feel like one of the people, like one of us. And so they did it. I feel like in this episode, they did a pretty good job with that.
I agree. Cause they were able to make where Sam and Steve Rogers both have a kind of almost naive innocence about their morality, but without them being too similar, right?
Yeah.
That was everything about Steve, was this naive sense of nobility and trueness to him. Sam has all those exact same qualities. Maybe, I don't know if as much.
It's like a modern version of it. Instead of like, Steve's version is from the 50s or 40s or whatever, or 30s. And so we get to see just different eras of thought and sensibility, but, still plugged into that same sense of morality. That's, there's a higher need for family and preservation of the good things, and to continue to fight. Like that was one of the overall, like the middle chunk of the episode, that whole part with Isaiah. It sort of drug me one way and then drug me back the other way. But I think I like what they're doing with setting Isaiah up as like the anti-hero a little bit, because he doesn't like America and he doesn't like what he went through, and there's all those problems. But I think that it's good because it lets Sam be the contrast to that. Like, no matter what the problems were, no matter what you went through, the idea of what Cap represents and who Cap represents is not Steve Rogers. It's an idea of America, of the superhero persona.
He says it right there at the end. He's like, what are all the struggles for if we don't stand up and fight?
Yeah.
How about Sharon calling in Batroc again, or Batroc, whatever?
Was it Batro?
Maybe.
French. I think it's stupid that she's the power broker.
So
that was one of our theories. Well,
seems to be.
We don't know who the fuck it is unless it's this V-check. Val?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think so, though.
That would be... she's... Who is that?
She is... I don't know who she is, but she's a character. Like, I recognize the contestant.
No, I mean the actress.
Oh, That's
From
Julius
Veep.
Dreyfus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Julia
so-
Louis-Dreyfus from
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
yeah. So
and-
she's big enough. She's a big enough name. She's a big enough character that she could have impact in the MCU. So
Yeah.
like she's
I don't see her being around one episode. That's an awful lofty
yeah.
paycheck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
I don't know if we even see Walker anymore.
I hope we do.
This episode or this
Yeah.
series.
Oh yeah, we do.
You think he's in the finale?
Oh,
I think he
You
shows
think he
up.
comes to New York? And,
Yeah, I think we get a 3-way battle.
was he there?
No.
Already?
He's
Well, I
in
mean, his arm's still
Maryland.
jacked up, but
Well, he's
Yeah.
got super serum.
yeah,
Well,
I mean, I could see him
I mean, I
popping
guess
his
Maryland's
arm
close enough.
out of his
Do what?
sling.
I said I guess Maryland's close enough.
Oh yeah, it's just a couple hour train ride probably.
I hope we see Walker. Actually, Walker's probably my favorite character in the entire show right now. He's got such an interesting arc where you can see him devolve into a villain, but you can see kind of justification of all of his thoughts, and he's ostracized. A lot of his speech was a little bit, some of his writing was kind of poor, but that's not Wyatt's fault. But I think his performance.
What do you think
was
about
really
the
good.
lie? What do you think about the lie he told the parents?
About that he killed the killer?
Yeah. Do you
Uh,
think that that's just something you tell the parents, or you think that's something to set up?
I
set
mean, I
him
don't
up
know
as-
because he said that to Bucky and Falcon too. And I mean, in his
Well, they
delusion, he may think he.
well,
he's
he knows
justifying that
though,
he
and they
killed-
told him.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
You say it
like,
might be a
he'll
PTS
know.
break.
Yeah.
He's convinced himself that he
convinced
killed the
himself.
killer to make himself feel okay about murdering the dude.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, that could be the case, but we know that dude wasn't the guy that punched
Right.
Battlestar because it was
No.
the chick.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Carly for
Okay.
sure. Carly Jepsen or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's what.
Well, you know, I call my joke. Isn't that her name? Like that one of those TikTok stars or something, or or a singer for like 12-year-olds or something. I don't know.
But I think he's convinced himself.
Interesting character, look wise and name. What is her name? It's Carly?
It's
right?
Carly, but I said the wrong last name.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's convinced himself that he killed the right person, so he can be okay with it. But I think if he's sitting close to New York and sees this happening, and he knows that it's them, like he's gonna go up there and try to take as many of them out as he can, probably. But I'm not sure we see him though.
I really thought that before Zemo got sequestered by the Wakandas,
That was lame.
I really thought that he was going to make contact with Walker. I
Mm.
thought that would have been a great setup. If like something, and they could still like have reached out to him with Val, and that could be a Zemo thing. That would be interesting if they tied that back in any way in the next episode.
They
But
said
we'll see.
they're taking him to the raft, right? That's where they held Falcon and Hawkeye and all of them in that prison. So there's no telling who else we have there that he can meet
Recruit and escape from.
Yeah,
Well, I don't understand why the raft. Like,
that's just their supermax prison.
no, I get that. I get that's what it is.
But
but
why
like,
not keep him in Wakanda?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, Wakanda. Why didn't
Yeah, I
they
don't
put
know.
them in their own prison?
Because it'd be too expensive to CGI.
I hope it's badass looking.
Yeah, me too.
You think it with it being nanotech, you think he'll just be able to grow wings and shit?
A possibility.
fly?
So he's still the Falcon,
Falcon-y.
and so he could.
Was it
Or
gonna-
do they
is it-
just
is it
make
gonna be
him-
Iron Man and Cap mixed in together because he can fly like Iron Man and he has Cap shield?
And he's got or it could just be like a suit. Yeah,
That-
yeah. He's gonna be overpowered as fuck. Man.
Well, let's hope not. That'll be ridiculous. Like
But they can't give him the T anymore, right?
He's got to be grounded. He can't fly.
So.
You think so?
But
yeah.
still,
Do you think he has the charge, the kinetic charge like Black Panther does, or they leave that for T'Challa's suit?
Well, Cap didn't have it in Infinity War with
Well,
his
I
little
think
half
he-
shields.
He probably needs
Only
it.
They
Black
didn't really
Panther
do
did.
anything, but were little like offensive weapons. They weren't even really defensive weapons.
No, not really. But
Barely.
it didn't have any kind of charge. So he did block some shit with it. But the only guy that does the purple charge is Black Panther.
I could. Well,
Yeah, I like how he's like, get this man a shield, and
Yeah.
it was really just some bracelets.
well,
Yeah.
Warmonger has it, does he not? He has the yellow charge that
Yeah.
explodes out. So they've at least recreated it. So it's not just like his one suit has it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
they
think
can-
we were just talking about the capabilities of Wakanda Tech and other Avengers. Do they have the purple blast?
yeah, they're gonna
And
give
they
it.
don't.
Yeah, Bucky doesn't have it in his arm. I mean,
Hey, that thing's a piece of shit. He needs to return that.
it has.
They had that imported from China.
Yeah.
Wakanda didn't make that
yeah,
shit.
that's the Wish.com
Fucking-
version of
yeah,
it.
It falls
So
off. It
it's-
fucking it
You
shorts
bump
out.
it, you bump it, and it shorts out in the middle of like a fight for your
Yeah.
life.
Do you think maybe it has some hidden tech in there that he don't know about because he didn't know about the release mechanism?
I hope not. Like you mean like positive hidden tech?
Yeah, like positive hidden tech. Yeah. Like maybe he can like grab somebody and electrocute them or something.
I mean,
that would be cool.
I don't. That's the thing that seems. That's the thing that seems weird about it is because they drop that line in like be scarce around Wakanda for a while. Like don't come around. So we're not probably going to see him in.
Why would she even say that?
Because we're not going to see him in Black Panther 2. That's why. You're not part of the world, and we gave you a throwaway line to let you know why you're not there. So we might see the new Cap in there, but we might not see, depending on how that goes. We might see Anthony Mackie in that or something. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do there, and not see Bucky. It would be weird for them not to be sort of like symbiotic at this point, from this point going forward, but we'll see.
Keep in mind we only have one episode left. There's a lot of things got to be left resolved. So I mean, I don't know.
No, I think it's just like WandaVision. It's you get to the end of it and you're thinking, what's all out there? I mean, I don't, if you think that these series are going to complete and set up, then you're not watching the last 10 years. Like I think we're only using these as groundwork to potentially sprout wings. These are just tendrils that are out there, and they can choose to use these, and they can choose to move these pieces in and out of movies or in and out of other TV shows. But as far as conclusions or things wrapped up neatly, no, there's no way. I mean, I think WandaVision wrapped things up more neatly than I would have expected them to, but they could, just because it was a bubble universe almost where she was at. This is not a bubble universe. This is stuff that's out in the actual real world, and so we need to see this, spider web out.
Yeah, the first mention of Madripoor was in this series.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, so, I mean, they're all over the world. They've been to Sokovia, Madripoor.
Back in New York, Louisiana.
Middle East.
Maryland.
Yeah, we should see, specks of Flag Smashers in stuff from here forward.
Because even if Carly bites the dust,
it's too
a
big.
Movement. Yeah.
Right.
No,
look how many people were in the park when she activated.
You don't think so?
No. I think that they leave her as a like she's an upstart of a great villain.
She ends up in the raft.
No,
I think she dies. She martyrs.
No,
she's gonna die, and it's gonna martyr.
I think she escapes. I think some of them die. I mean, she could die. You could see it, but that's too neat. If you let her linger, then she can be a part of a greater movement, or she could end up being a pawn for the broker at some point, because she's a little bit of a pawn for the broker now, unless we're seeing George St. Pierre, he ends up trying to kill her. Like if the power broker decides that Carly is too much of a threat and uses him to kill her, but ties them together for an opportunity.
So, Sharon calls him back to, deliver the guns and stuff, but he says he's there to kill Falcon.
Yeah.
Do you think she hired him the first time? Not like capturing that dude was a ruse because they knew it would bring Falcon out, and they were going to try and kill Falcon? Do you think she's trying to take him?
So why would Agent Carter's niece want to kill Falcon?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't understand.
We don't know what happened to her during the.
What do you think?
That
she wants
just
to
seems
shield?
such like a strange, disgusting heel turn. I mean, here she is, one of the stoic agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that went on Cap's side, pulled guns on Hydra people, snuck out the S.H.I.E.L.D. and Falcon's outfit. Her aunt is.
Well, she's a double agent the entire time, though.
Oh, she'd have to be a triple agent. She's not gonna be a double agent.
Well, she was a double agent, but Hydra's no more, so she's like,
Right, she's a bad guy pretending to be a good guy, double agent. I'm saying she could be a triple agent. She's a good guy pretending to be a bad guy, but really a good guy. That'd be the only thing and that wouldn't even fucking make sense to me. But
I don't think that makes any sense. With you hiring Batroc again.
I don't know. That just seems like such a strange heel turn for her as a character. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, unless she's Peggy Carter's niece, and fuck.
If she's following orders, though, it could be different. Like she could be working for the power broker and think that this is. I mean, all she's got to do is warn Falcon, like, "Hey, I had to do this."
What if it's not even Sharon Carter? What if it's a Skrull?
See, that's the problem with the scrolls.
So annoying.
It's like
Oh
the
my
fucking
God.
multiverse. Just multiverse it. Just scroll it. You know.
Because I mean, we know we're getting Secret Invasion.
Yeah. I mean,
Or it could be a Kree.
Yeah, could be a Kree.
You know, somebody like assumed her identity, her form.
Because they're masters of genetics.
you know what? That would make more sense to me than Sharon Carter flipping. We really would. I mean, I just don't see her flipping like that.
Well,
I don't know.
if that's the case, then we need a Sharon Carter series where at least we get some kind of retcon and explain what happened to her, and maybe she's in whatchamacallit, Black Widow, and we see her pop out a little bit there.
Maybe.
Be weird because the order of these things was supposed to be different.
I'm excited to see Taskmaster.
That's what I was just about to say.
I hope they keep his.
See
ass
somebody
around.
that can use the shield properly.
Yeah,
So you get the shield.
he has a shield. Yeah.
He has his version.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, back to Carly, right? I think she dies. I think Baron Zemo talking about it a lot. You know, she has to die. So this is kind of a thought.
You think Bucky's gonna kill her?
I don't think Bucky's going to kill her. I think Walker's going to kill her.
That's too. And then what? He's like full villain at that point.
He's full villain at that point. He still proclaims
Or
he's
is he
Captain
Punisher?
America. It makes America look bad. He's just out there murdering people, even though they've kind of disavowed him. She's martyred. This is my question.
See that?
What if Baron Zemo, that's one of his long plans? He's like, oh, yeah, he's trying to say she needs to die because she's too crazy. But he knows that if she dies, that movement, they need her to be arrested and face judgment for her movement to die. If she dies, like you said, the Flag Smashers become a permanent fixture, right?
I think they are.
Baron Zemo wants that for some reason. That's why he's pushing for her to get killed. What if that's one of his long games? That was just, I don't know, just giving him something to do while he sits in prison. You know, because he's a long game kind of character. Maybe could he want her to be martyred to keep the Flag Staffers to bring chaos?
But see, that's one of the reasons I don't think Walker's going to show up in the finale, because like his arm's still busted up, one, and then two, he doesn't have a suit. He's going to run out there and fight everybody in the civvies, and they kind of set it up to like, you know, she's going to have to call him, right? Contessa, like answer, you know, that'll be the best decision of your life. You answer when I call. I mean, she going to what benefits her to call him to, you know, whatever's going to happen in New York.
She can call and
Depends on
bring him
who-
a suit. I mean, if fucking,
Depends on who she is, though. I mean, who do you think she is?
obviously someone very, very powerful because she can just walk into a
She knows
department
state
building.
secrets,
Yeah.
so she's someone in the government.
Mhm.
Or above? I mean,
Yeah.
and somebody in, you know, Sword, since we don't have Shield anymore. You know, she could be somebody high level there that we just haven't seen yet.
If Bucky can make a phone call and a few days later a Wakanda suit shows up, then I would imagine Quintessa could call Walker, having picked up a helicopter. Here's your Walker captain suit. And here's your
What are we saying?
We got to leave this in here.
Yeah.
Of course we do. Oh, there we go. Thanks for watching. Come back,
Yeah.
guys.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We can't do it when we're
So
talking.
we know you
over
probably didn't enjoy it, but it's okay. Just come back and watch our crap anyways.
Yeah. Just notify the bell and subscribe to like.
Exactly.